What's rocking? It's Big Checky, Uncle Flexy from the Chicken Chasers podcast, where we advise everybody to wake up every day, chase their chicken. Every episode is brought to you by the 4 P's. That's protection, provide, people, positivity. Protect and provide for your family, and when you approach people with positivity. Try saying that 5 times fast. And we all about positivity over here on the Chicken Chasers podcast. That's why we got to have this episode with a lot of negative aspects in it, but the ultimate goal is to get to a positive solution and a positive light, which will, I don't know. It seems hard to do in this situation. And this situation is basically the Jon Gruden situation, but it's so much bigger than Jon Gruden. So I'm just going to go, I ain't going to go too deep into all my conspiracy theories about how I don't believe in like dinosaurs, and I believe that black men was the original giants, and that's why our descendants is like Shaqs and KDs and LeBrons, and they found, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go on a, you know what I'm saying, because you can't tell me that these 10-foot dinosaurs was alive and they only descendants is a lizard or a iguana or a Komodo dragon. But anywho, I just want to go back into like slave days. You know, we was brought over. We were slaves for however many years, and out of all those years of slavery, you hear about Denmark Vesey, you hear about Nat Turner, you hear about Harriet Tubman. You don't hear about too many more. So you mean to tell me out of all these years and all these slaves, there's only 3 to 5 people that tried to vote or whatever? No, I think it was more than that, because I don't know Abe Lincoln, I ain't never kicked it with him, but why, if you was raised in a society where slaves were okay and they were legal, I know you was on a different side, but it was slaves in the North too, just like it was slaves in the South, just not as many. And that was the way of life, and it was free labor. This country is built off free labor of slaves, not just Africans, African Americans, but different races and creeds. But this country is built off of slavery. Why would you just free the slaves out the blue? Like, have your freedom, make equal money to us. And then if you did free the black slaves to be equal, then why we all still hitting them with water hoses, still sicking dogs on them, still shooting our leaders? You killed Martin Luther King, you killed Malcolm X, you killed Trayvon Martin, you killed Oscar Grant, you killed George Floyd, you killed Sandra Bland. Like, if we was free to be equal, why is these tactics still happening to this day? So that wasn't your plan. I believe what happened is they used to breed the slaves, get the biggest slave and the biggest slave male, biggest slave female to have kids, to get big slave babies. And I think over time, these slaves started outnumbering the masters, and they're like, all right, we're going to go to civil war, but we're going to use them. But, I think the cause to civil war is that the slaves is really overtaking the plantations, and that's what caused them to free the slaves, because I don't see why we would just free them for no reason, being the type of, devils that there was back then. And then even with that, when they freed us, they said, y'all free, but y'all can't eat at our restaurants, y'all can't touch our stuff, y'all can't ride our buses unless you sit in the back. All the stipulations. Try to strive on your own. Get it on your own. You know what I'm saying? And what do? We got it on our own. Black buses, black leaders, black Wall Street, black churches. We did that. We built our own community to show that we didn't need any oppressors or sub-oppressors to control us, that we can do it on our own. And what did they do? They came through, they murdered us. They bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma. They bombed churches. They done shot up churches. Dylan Roof came and shot up a church and got Burger King on the way out. I don't understand it. So with all that being said, they knew that they thought they could control us. Once they freed us and thought we couldn't survive, we sustained on our own. Then they went back to killing us, and there's going to be another war. And what they do, they figured out something smart that we still fight to this day. Give some of us something, some of us nothing, but none of us everything.
Message.
Some of us something, some of us nothing, but none of us everything. And when they did that, now till this day we fight amongst ourselves for classism, for financial reasons, for status, for clout, and the whole time racism is just hovering above our head, but we put it to the back burner until we get a Trayvon Martin situation, or George Floyd, Oscar Grant, till we get one of those situations, Mike Brown, Sean Bell, till we get one of those situations, Breonna Taylor, till we get, that's when racism, Rodney King, that's when racism comes back up, whereas it's here every day, and we don't address it, because they put all this other stuff over our head that we just try to, who dressed the best, who makes the most money, who real, who not, who this, who that, who like who preferences, who, we focus on that, who's a better rapper, who this, that, we focus on that, and they keep taking our laws away, our rights away, killing us. We make them put on body cameras. They're like, all right, we just gonna make it a reality show. Let's kill a black person on camera and get away with it. And it's like, even with the Say Her Name movement, Breonna Taylor, I've been saying names all day. But us as people, we can name all the victims, but we really, me personally, I know some of us can, but we really can't name all the killers. You think about that. Any other killer, the Ted Bundys, the DC City Snipers, you know what I'm saying, the BTK killers, the Jeffrey Dahmers, all that stuff, all the Zodiac, like they come with names, you know, they give you names, they give you the script, like you know them, they are famous killers. But when it comes to police killing us, they make the victim famous, which is they should do, keep their name alive. But make that cop just as famous. Make that cop just as famous so that we remember their face, remember their name. So if we see them at our local grocery stores or out in public or anywhere and they trying to hide or this and that, we know you. You're a murderer and you killed the innocent person. But nah, they hide the cop, hide their name, hide their face, prolong the trial, then give them short time, no time, reduced time, let them walk free, and we don't even remember their names or what they look like, and they blend right back into society. So nah, blow up those cops' faces and names just like y'all blow up our faces and names when we do something, so that everywhere they go, they face with the ridicule of being a murderer to an innocent, unarmed person. And that brings me to Jon Gruden of the NFL. As you know, some emails got leaked out. You know, they did an investigation on the Washington football team with Bruce Allen. So, the Washington football team, we know about them. And throughout all the emails, they uncovered some emails from Jon Gruden where he was saying racist language, misogynistic language, homophobic language, just all kind of stuff, calling people out their names. And they caught him up on it. And I reported on it in one video. He said, you know, the rubber lips comment about D. Smith, that's why he had lips the size of Michelin tires. He said that that's his phrase for when people lie. I doubt it. So, you know, and then he had a bunch of, you know, homophobic, queer comments and stuff like that. So I could just imagine him on the sideline like, oh, good catch, rubber lips. Good tackle, queer. You see how that rubber lip caught the ball right there? Boy, that's a good rubber lip right there. And that queer right there. Is that how he, you know, is that how he coaching on the sideline? Or is he playing like, good job? And, you know, it's crazy. These people be devils. You got to watch out when they take their mask off. Well, with that, I reported on it, and when the racist stuff came out, I think it was Friday, yet he was coaching on Sunday. Remember I said that they wasn't going to make a big deal of it. It was a one-time thing. He wasn't working at ESPN. He was working at ESPN, not the NFL at the time. All that stuff. And I found out about the racist stuff on Friday. He coaching on Sunday. When I found out about the misogynistic and homophobic stuff, was when they said he resigned. So that lets you know you can say some racist stuff and get away with it. You say anything homophobic, misogynistic, or any of that, they're getting rid of you that day.
Message.
And I believe that's because when we was fighting the power, we was on the forefront with our movement. You know, no more brothers in jail, fight the power, all that, respect. But when you fight things on the surface, they respond on the surface. That's why they killed Martin Luther King. That's why they killed Malcolm X. That's why they killed Huey P. Newton. That's why they discredited and dismantled the Black Power from Oakland and all around the world. They dismantled and discredited the Black Power, the Black Panther. Sorry, they discredited the original Bloods and Crips and switched it. You know what I'm saying to just gangbanging, not feeding the community. And the original start out to all these companies, the Black Panthers, the Bloods, the Crips, and different organizations was to protect the black community from the police. But they flipped that on our head. And me personally, I've never been on a plane with a black pilot. Hopefully y'all have. You know, it's a progressive world. But I've always said, hey, welcome to the friendly skies. This is Joseph. It's nice weather. We're going to get a smooth transition. I haven't heard. What up, though? It's Jerome. Sun out. We're going to get there. Sit through it. You know what I'm saying? I might get off that plane. No, I'm just playing. But with that, so back then I know it wasn't black pilots. So how was all these guns and drugs and stuff getting into our communities? They brought that into our communities. Give some of us some of us none, and all of us nothing. You know what I'm saying? That way we fight amongst each other. And with that, you get this kind of stuff. You get these racist owners, not one black owner, and they share all these emails and talk crazy about us and other ways of life and all that until they get caught. And they use Jon Gruden as a scapegoat, because I believe there's way more owners and coaches that feel the same way, that express their feelings the same way. It's all through these emails. It's all through this, and we'll see how much they're gonna leak. And that brings me to Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Much respect, but I had some questions like why sign a non-disclosure when there was you would have had to make them show these emails. We could have known this kind of stuff years ago. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Shout out to your movement, but I don't know if you took the cheese or not. But it's like they was able to keep you quiet by your silence, by their silence, and now all the stuff that would have been popping up from all teams in the NFL is popping up now. And now we got to deal with it and deal with it now. Well, we could have nipped this in the bud a couple of years ago. But I'm happy at least they getting to it now. And then even with that, when he said the black stuff, the first thing they did was interview all the black players the day of. They didn't give them time to think on it, ponder on it, congregate, meet on it. Just, what do you think? What do you think? And they had the black players on TV looking like. But yet, they haven't interviewed any women officials in the NFL. They haven't interviewed Carl Nassib or anything because he's the first openly gay active player to play in the regular season. Right? They waiting. They're gonna get that a media day. They're gonna give them time to congregate, come with a lawyer, get a prepared speech, and really do it how it's supposed to be done. But with us, they put the mic right in our face coming out the locker room, and we like, he ain't never did that with me. Coach Cool. And now we looking crazy because the rest of the emails come out and they fired him. And now, fans of the sport are looking at the black players on the radar like, was you Uncle Tommen or did you just, you know what I mean? So, it's crazy. We got to be mindful of that. We got to tell reporters, I'm not speaking on that right now. Let me get time to congregate with my people and we'll come back to you with a prepared statement. Because they're putting mics and cameras in our face just like they did Cam Newton after the Super Bowl or any boxer, UFC fighter. How do you feel? I feel like I just got knocked out, dog. He just punched me and I went to sleep. Why are you asking me how I feel? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they do that knowing they're going to get that raw emotion out of you. And if you don't play it right, while you feeling loopy, while you feeling like a loser, while your heart is broken, if you don't play it right, then they paint you as a poor sport or a crybaby when you're just showing natural human emotions. And they do that all the time. So it's like when you're not prepared to speak, don't speak. They ask you about this Jon Gruden stuff and you like, man, I don't have time I don't want to speak on that right now. Come back during media day once I have time to congregate with my people, and then y'all come out. Because that's what they're going to do with Carl Nassib. That's what they're going to do with women officials. They will give them time to come with a prepared speech and really put the knife in and hit them where it hurts, as opposed to asking us on the spot. And we don't know if he's still the coach. Remember, there was actually players over the weekend. They don't know if he's still going to be the coach or not. You speak out against that, you get kicked out the NFL. They seen what happened to Colin Kaepernick. And it feels like it's a tricky situation because everybody be like, hey, some people got to feed their family, so you got to respect that. So that's how they played them. They asked him while he was still the coach. They didn't wait till they didn't wait till after he resigned to ask them like they're going to do with other people, other groups. So that's what we have to do. We have to be mindful of that. And then also, like the mafia movies, I ain't going to say the mafia in real life, I believe the LGBTQ community, like I said, when we were fighting, our fight was on the surface, so they attacked us on the surface. Where they also fought on the surface with marches and parades and all that, like how we had marches, speeches, and everything. We did that, but I think they not secretly, but they put people, you know what I'm saying? Well, not they put me, but they took the time for people of that community to get the education, the knowledge, and the power of certain positions like top entertainers or like VPs or presidents or policemen or judges or lawyers or this to the point where they can give their people a fair shot. People always ask, why do the LGBTQ community always get their rights and black people don't? It's because we stand up and fight for our rights just like they do, but they actually have people in the positions to change the laws or to help them. Our people that get in those positions, we usually don't look back. And we don't look back unless it's attached with $1. Oh, I'll help you if it can help me. So it's like we got to lose that mentality and really we got to have more black policemen, more black lawyers, more black judges, more black principals, more black superintendents, more black deans, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, and not just go the entertainment route or anything else, or just the sole entrepreneur route where you're not helping anybody else. Even if you're an entrepreneur, along the way, once you get successful, start hiring other black people to put them in position, not to keep under your wing, but for them to either grow as high as you or higher than you, so this whole race can grow to an exponential rate. Because as long as we try to keep people eye to eye or under our wing, we're going to keep facing the problems where we're fighting within our own community while the rest of the world is also fighting us. So we're fighting amongst ourselves while getting jumped by the rest of the world. Instead of standing as one unified front is what we got to do. And I know it's never going to have unity. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be people that don't like each other since the beginning of the time. But we could do a better job of, you know what I'm saying, trying to stay unified with the people that we don't have personal problems with. Then I think we'll stand a better chance. I believe hopefully more emails come out. They get rid of more of these racist coaches and owners and all that. They probably won't. They probably just use Jon Gruden as the scapegoat and they shut it down. But I'm hoping that they get more of them out there. Because like some people are racist. Like that's one thing I don't like. If somebody like a Jon Gruden or somebody like that, somebody with fame or a name like that, their name, their reputation is their job, then it's cool to call them out on their racist behavior, put a camera in their face, and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You're hurting their reputation. But if it's just somebody that ain't got no reputation, no job, nothing, they just being racist in your face, putting the camera in their face and letting them call you all type of N-words and spit on you is not helping the cause. On my mother. I don't advocate violence, but come on, dog. Somebody in your face, they don't have no job, they're not a public figure. That you putting them on World Star calling you out your name and spitting on you and swinging at you is not going to cause them any harm or damage. They're going to go back with all their racist friends like, yeah, you see what I did to that old rubber lip there? Rubber. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on. Let's cut that out, black people. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? If you can hurt somebody's pockets and reputation like a Jon Gruden, okay, that's the perfect way to go about it, how they did it. But if some random cat is racist on the streets, man, this big Checky Uncle Flexy from the Chicken Chasers podcast. We out.
Message!
That was a good one.